With 2025 coming to an end and 2026 fresh on our heels, time for us to turn a new page and see what 2026 has in store for us. Some of us colder areas, we put our bikes away already, and some of you warmer areas, well, you guys are still riding, you lucky son of a. But that doesn't change that all of us are looking forward to what 2026 has in store, especially for all of us who ride CFMOTO bikes or want to ride one, or heck, even some of the CFMOTO haters out there. In this video, I will be going over what CFMOTO has in store for 2026 and some of my opinions on it. If you guys have any feedback on any of it as well, feel free to leave a comment down below, but let's get into it. So starting off strong, we have the CFMOTO 675 NK going to the United States. There's already the 675 NK in Europe, but in 2026, we will see the 675 NK headed over to the States, which I am actually really excited to see. I particularly like the styling of the nice naked bike, especially the CFMOTO one. This isn't their only naked bike they've had, but this is their first introduction of the 675 NK in the States. Some quick specs for you. This will be 94 horsepower at 11,000 RPM with 51.6 foot-pounds of torque at 8,250 RPM. This will be the same engine as the 675 SS. This will feature a lot of the same accessories that you will see on the 675 SS, such as the quick shifter, 2 levels of traction control. Now, if you're wondering what the price will be on this bike, it'll be about $7,499 US. Now, if you ask me, that's still not a bad price for a decent looking naked bike. Now, I'm not exactly a naked bike kind of guy. I'm not a huge fan of them, but just seeing a lot of their models and just getting into motorcycling a little bit more throughout the years, I have grown fond of them, and I want to say that this bike in particular looks really good, and I love the styling of it. I like how they keep those nice headlights on the front of it. Just gives it that nice extra futuristic look, but keeping a nice classic naked look as well. But without glazing the 675 NK that much longer, we're going to go jump into the next topic here. So for any of you 450 SS riders, I want you guys to understand that they are still awesome bikes. The 450 SS, there's an increased power with your ECU being remapped, with the new specs of this bike being 51 horsepower at 9,500 RPM, 29.5 foot-pounds of torque at 7,750 RPM. This is a little bit of a jump from the 2025 CFMOTO 450 SS, which is the same engine, just only making 50 horsepower with 28.8 foot-pounds of torque. This is a little bit of a jump, I understand, but it still is a little jump, and then reworking everything. I think it's awesome that CFMOTO wants to kind of fine-tune everything that they're doing and not just keep the same old every year. There's also been a new update to the brakes and the traction control on this bike. Another cool thing I think they added was the brake cooling, which came from the 675 SS, kind of hopped it down over to their 450 SS model, and CFMOTO's keeping their nice cheap prices. They did give this one a little bit of a price jump, but not much. The 2025 CFMOTO 450 SS was 5,500 USD, which is now jumping to 5,699 USD, which isn't too much of a jump. Still nice and affordable, and still a good amount of money for what you're getting. So next topic here, we have the 450 CLC Cruiser, which features the same 449cc engine as the 450 SS. The parallel twin with a 270-degree crank, putting out about 40 horsepower, which is nothing new. This is not a new bike by any means, but it is more of their cruiser bike. I know I see a lot of people asking in the comments or in general of asking a nice cruiser bike that isn't a Harley of some sort.
What? No, dude!
If you want to take the cheaper route, then I think the 450 CLC is a decent bike, and it actually looks pretty good. It keeps that classic look to it. They have a new improved saddle design, and now all the 450 CLCs will come with a heel shifter. They also increased the size of the rear fender, and they threw on 16-inch rims. This bike previously was 5,699 USD, is now jumping to 5,799 USD. Is still pretty cheap again. These price hikes aren't anything crazy. I know with inflation and everything kind of going on, especially if you're in the States, or I'm pretty sure we're all kind of feeling it worldwide here at this point, is a lot of the prices of everything is going up. It's nice to see that these awesome bikes are not going up too high. I know they're the cheap Chinese bikes, right? But, you know, throughout all the stigma and the stereotypes of CFMOTO, I think they hold strong in saying that, yes, there is a cheap price. By no means are they cheap quality. Now, I personally want to get a cruiser style bike. 450 CLC definitely is something I've considered because I've had the 450 SS and I still have the 675 SS, and I've had no issues with any of them. And why not pay a lower price for something that still has amazing reliability and really good technology in my opinion, because a lot of these bikes can kind of get outdated, but it seems that CFMOTO likes to keep up with new tech, and even with their cheap price, I don't see any way of them jeopardizing the quality. And a quick little topic to throw on here as well is the Papio SS and the CL will receive full traction control and a full fairing. And this bike is more along the lines of like a Grom, but I have seen a few of them riding around. Not that they're crazy popular. You mentioned the Papio and people are like, I have no idea what that is. Well, this is the Papio right here. It's a funny looking little bike, but you know, kind of like a cafe rider style, but you know, they're pretty fun. It's something that I would definitely consider getting, popping a few wheelies on and just practicing in a parking lot and just kind of having fun and ripping it up. A little tidbit here as well in terms of CFMOTO is they will be increasing production on their 675 SS and their IBEX 450, which their IBEX 450 will still be 6,499 USD, and the 675 SS will be keeping the same price as well. Now, I think it's important that they're increasing production on both of these bikes, especially the 675 SS, as it's grown a lot of popularity throughout the year. I think it's speaking towards CFMOTO that they're increasing production on their most recently dropped bike, and even though it's been almost a year since we had a release in the States, that they're increasing production now, and the demand is still pretty high for them. I know the aftermarket availability isn't anything crazy yet, but as the years go on, I'm sure that 675 SS will have plenty of aftermarket availability, and I can only see them adding more to the 675 SS, and that's even with everything that's already on it. So it's going to be a pretty awesome bike to kind of keep your eyes out on as the years go on. And just because it's CFMOTO and I want to make sure that I put everything on the board, not that many of you guys really care for this one, they are releasing a CFX-5E, which is a electric dirt bike, pretty much for like kids. It's got larger wheels and all this type of stuff, multiple speed modes and everything. Not that it's a crazy one I'm really hyped about, but I want to make sure I put everything on the table for CFMOTO here because they do have a decent lineup for 2026. Now we're done talking about the lineup for the CFMOTO models that will be coming out. We're going to be talking about CFMOTO and their RideSync app because there's been a very touchy topic lately in terms of them saying, hey, do you require a subscription? And although I don't really agree with the subscription thing, I understand they got to pay for things, but at the same time, I don't think it's fun to pull the cloth underneath people. And I'm not saying that CFMOTO is 100% to be trusted yet. Obviously, we need to see what comes out, see how they respond to different feedback to different things. I'm not going to say that they're horrible. I'm not going to say that they're amazing. Just in my experience with my two bikes, I've had no issues. And fortunately, I live in the United States. So going into 2026, they have also confirmed that this app will not require a subscription if you are in the United States. And they don't have any plans for it as well. So if we're in the States, we're lucky. Anywhere else,
I don't know what to do! God damn it!
hopefully they kind of mediate the situation with something for people that kind of lost a lot of money on it. I hope that they kind of give that back to you guys because I don't really think that was fair. But I'm not going to say that they're a horrible company. It could have been way worse. It could have been worldwide and with the States and everything. I'm not going to backtrack and say that they are 100% horrible people or a horrible company. I don't think they're a horrible company. I stand where I stand. I think that they have a lot of good things going for them, and I hope that this is just a hiccup for them and they correct it and they fix it. There is something to be said with having to pay, different costs for these different things and having their servers and online stuff on, which I agree with. That is 100% true. They need to cover costs of something and have a way to fund that. And with their bikes being a little bit cheaper, it makes sense that they need some other kind of way to pull money in. But with that being said, how would you guys feel if they just increased the price of their bikes a little bit more and then just got rid of that subscription fee for any of my overseas friends? How would that sit with you guys? Like, does that make more sense if, hey, the bike costs a little bit more, but you won't have to pay that fee for that subscription thing, especially for new customers? Existing customers, yeah, I think there should be some leeway with you guys because especially with the people that have been supporting CFMOTO, even when they were just a 300 SS, I think it's a little unfair for some of the customers that have already lost money on this whole subscription thing as well. Don't let it deter you though. There are some fun things and you still can operate the bike without having a subscription service, even if you are overseas. You just miss out on some of the extra accessories. With 2026 in mind, let's hope that CFMOTO starts to correct some of that. I know we have the lineup for them with all their models and everything. Let's hope that in terms of the subscription service they have for the RideSync app, that they start to correct some of that and fix that a little bit and tweak some things because I definitely think that it needs to be corrected and tweaked. And on the topic of the 675 SS and the IBEX 450 with their increased production, CFMOTO is also expanding more within the United States so that they can increase their production and get these bikes out to you guys a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more speedy, instead of just having one or two 675s within a 100-mile distance. Hopefully that kind of closes that in a little bit for everyone that's been waiting or on a wait list or having to order theirs. Hopefully the dealers start to roll those in, and hopefully we get to see more of that. They are increasing their dealer network, which is something good, and it shows that they are definitely growing within the country. So as I'm about to wrap this video up, I wanted to touch on one more thing with CFMOTO is that outside of the United States, CFMOTO released their CFMOTO 750 SRS, which is looking like a pretty sick bike. I know we've all heard the rumor or reveal of their V4 engine, which would showcase a 1000cc superbike, which they definitely teased at the 209 horsepower. And I know it's going to be a couple of years or so before we start to see this bike, and it's just a concept, but I'm pretty excited for it. And I want to know in the comments down below, are you guys excited for this bike? Is it something that you're more in the market for, or are you more in the market for the 750 SRS, or when it comes to States, which will be the SS? So let me know what you guys think of that concept engine. How cool would it be if CFMOTO revealed a V4 superbike that puts out 200 plus horsepower? And would it be something that you consider getting, considering their cheap price and what they offer? That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you have any thoughts, opinions, or concerns, drop them down in the comments below. If you like this video and you want to see more, or you want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button and check out my channel for more. As always, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.